sometimes it's a lot more janky than you might think, but it works.
Yeah. Like using a potato as an asteroid.
And exactly.
And that's why AI will never take over.
Because they don't have potatoes.
they can't grow a goddamn potato. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Share the Backline podcast for two washed-up local musicians, wax poetic about gripes, triumphs, and the mundane. I'm your host, O'Brien.
And Beardley.
And at the helm, I got Haitlin.
What's up?
All right, welcome to part 2 of our interview with Thom Arizmendi.
Hey.
See, I don't even know if she's playing the sounds because I don't have my cans on. Like, I don't know.
Just keep clapping.
I don't know what to do with my ears.
We didn't mention it last time, but there's a set of headphones on our Amazon wish list. No, I'm just kidding.
Buy a completely extra set, so just in case somebody forgets.
No,
them.
don't worry. We'll pick up an extra set. It's just, I forgot them at home.
All right, so this is pod 2.
Pod 2.
This is pod 2. This is the second part of our interview with Thom, because we went over I was gonna say at length, but like we went over his musical side, and not only is he an incredible musician and accomplished crazy things in music, but he's also been working in film for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I remember there were times where we would jam out and you would be coming home from like a fucking 16-hour day, and you would show up and we would jam, and then you would probably go to sleep for 20 hours straight.
Probably 4, and then I go back to 7.
And then go back. But you got your start in, you were doing, if I remember correctly, you were doing lighting, right?
Yeah. I started doing it up in San Francisco. And when I first moved here, I was waiting to get my green card, and so I just started helping out on student films and things like that. And then literally like the week that I got my green card through and my work permit and stuff, I was on Facebook, and a producer from the Bay Area posted that they needed an electric, and so I was like, sounds great. and I messaged them, and they were like, okay, we'll put you in touch with the gaffer, who's the head of the lighting department. And I got a phone call, and I blagged my way through that. And he was like, okay. He was like, okay, so we're shooting on Alcatraz for tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And so he was like, be at the dock at 4 a.m. I was like, 4 a.m., dude.
You're like, it's 10 p.m. right now.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Do you know who you're talking to? I got to be there at 3:30.
So naturally, I got up at 2.
I showed up early, and there was an incredible bass player.
So, oh my God, can you imagine? So I got to the dock, and I was so fresh at this job. Like, I did not know anything. I was so underqualified for this job. It was ridiculous. But had an English accent. And so I got the job. And so we're on the boat. And so the cable that we run is called camlock cable, right? And so we're on the boat going over, and the gaffer's like, so we're going to be running a lot of camlock cable. And in my head, I heard Camelot.
Camelot cable.
Camelot cable? I was like, what? And so I leaned over to my buddy, and I was like, yo, what's Camelot cable? He was like, just follow me. I was like, okay.
He's like, damn diversity hires.
We need one accent. So I followed him like a shadow and learned so much that first day. And they must have been desperate for guys, because they asked me to come back the next day. And so I went back the next day, and then slowly the job, like I just kept getting asked back, and we were shooting on Alcatraz for 10 days, but slowly the job evolved into overnights, and so it got to the point where when they were shutting the island to the public, we were taking a ferry over, and so then we had free reign of Alcatraz. We could go anywhere and like put lights.
But you could not leave.
Exactly. No, but it was wild. I've never, like, when I first came to America, I went to Alcatraz and I was like, this is so cool. Like, this place is like, this is the coolest museum I've ever been to. You know? Like,
You could tell
dark.
people you spent 10 days in Alcatraz.
Yeah.
You get the spider web tattoo. 10 rings, 10 days in Alcatraz, baby.
Couldn't even leave. And but it was like so wild, like getting to go. We were putting cable in, and we on top of the jail cells, and there was a little like hatch in the first cell, which wasn't a cell, but there was a little hatch to get on top of them. And I don't know if you know the story about the 3 prisoners that like made paper mache heads.
Yeah.
And okay, and so
If you don't know, Google it. It's fucking wild.
it's wild. They were never found again. And so they went on to the roof from the top of the jail cells. So I had to get up there to put cable on where these guys had been like escaped from, and there was like a layer of dust like this, like literally without a footprint in it. And so I'm just like, felt like Neil Armstrong. Like, oh my god! But like so wild, and
You
like
just hear, what are you doing up here, dude? It's like, just
got like an American flag.
He's walking like that. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, sorry. I'm running Camelot cable.
Idiot.
God damn.
So yeah, we did that, and then it like just started pouring rain while we were working overnight. And I remember one night I was like on top of this 12-step ladder, just like gripping it with my knees, working on this thing up top, and we ran this little thin cable throughout this like alleyway, and it's like pouring with rain and winds blowing through, so it's like difficult to hear. And I'm like, I call out to my buddy, I'm like, did you unplug it?
Oh my
And he's like,
God.
yeah. I'm like, okay, great. And so I cut it.
oh, shit.
And I'm on top of this ladder, and I cut it, and my arm just goes. And I was like, shaking, holding this cable. It's fine. I'm here. You know,
Holy
But
shit.
it-
So it's the second time they unplug this one? Yes.
I don't have the best luck with cables, and it's been my job for 10 years.
Unplugging shit.
Like so that job actually got me into the union. I was so lucky. So I moved out here, and so, like for some people it's such an uphill battle to get into the union, because to get into the union you have to get 30 union days, but the caveat is they have to be on union jobs, and you can't work union jobs if you're not union. Cool.
There's a lot of things going on with the union right now that we're not going to talk about. So, but this is just one problem.
So, but on that job, I ended up surviving the first week and then getting hired back. And we ended up traveling up and down California and then into Arizona for 3 months. And we like the next episode was on the USS Hornet. And like, I could tell you stories about this job. It was, to this day, it was the first job I ever did. And to this day, it was the wildest job I've ever done. Like, there was, I'm gonna keep going. So it was a reality show, and in the show we had 4 sets of contestants, and on the one on the USS Hornet, which is an aircraft carrier, they decided that they wanted to start them in the brig, like in the jail on the ship. But to get to the jail, they wanted to take them down on the lift that they bring the planes up and down from the deck.
So it's like that scene in Top Gun where he's
Yeah,
he's going out in the sun setting.
So when the lift goes down, though.
They're like, Tom, what are you doing here? Just standing there like this.
So
Where'd you get a leather jacket in aviators?
don't ask.
Some guy's like, this is all cool.
That was the job that I actually made everyone call me Maverick on. It was really cool.
Call me Goose.
But so those lifts, I always, you see him like in those shots where it like comes up and it's that glory moment, you know, it's like, it is not that slow. It's when it goes down, it's super fast because they're just trying to get planes up and into battle, you know?
Mm-hmm. And if
so
it can lift a plane, it's fucking powerful as shit.
it can lift me. You know? And like, so
Throws you 50 feet into the air.
so
Tom, no.
so the start of the episode was the contestants on the lift, and then they get lowered, and then they exit and they go to the hold for sound.
What the hell was that?
It's probably my car. So they wanted to lower them, right? And so we have the contestants on the lift, and there's like 4 electrics, and we all have a little light that we're holding to light them, obviously. And and so my little light, the battery starts dying, right? And so I'm like, code 4. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, I get on the walkie though, and I'm like, my battery's dying. Like, I need a new battery before we go again. And so the gaffer's like, okay, yeah, I got you. And so he starts walking over to me, and I start walking to him. And, you know, we're doing one of these.
Doom, 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 doom.
Oh, that would have been epic. No, so we're walking to each other, and like, okay, so say this is the edge of the platform, right? Before they drop the platform, they're meant to signal to the guy operating it, and he puts up a barrier so that no one can cross. So the gaffer's steps away. I'm literally like about to step off of this platform onto the deck, and somebody signals to the guy for the railings to come up, and he presses the wrong button, and so the lift drops. And so I'm literally like a step away from it, and the lift goes like the deck just disappears. Like, had I been a step closer, it would have been like that. The lift would have dropped from beneath me.
Holy
And then it would
shit.
have been
They're like, damn it, we need to hire another Brit.
they're hard to find. But like that was insane. And then after that we went to we can get spooky if you want, because after that we went to this abandoned juvenile prison up in Sacramento from the Victorian times. And that place was haunted.
Yeah, speaking of spooky, I was going to ask you that about Alcatraz. Did you see anything there?
I didn't see anything there. I was too busy trying to learn the cable.
Yeah, I was too busy trying not to say Camelot.
Because I wanted to.
The camera.
God.
Now let's not get spooky. Maybe
Okay.
we'll have you
No,
on
it's
for
not spooky.
for Death Claws and talk about spooky shit.
No, I want to talk about spooky shit.
No, because I want to talk about.
Mommy and Daddy are arguing.
He said Alcatraz. I've been waiting for spooky shit.
No, because I'm already scared.
No, but that place was like somebody was murdered there, and it was definitely, there was a vibe. Something happened.
And not an Abbey Road vibe.
Not the good vibe. And then I think from there we went to Arizona, and we like shot at the airplane graveyard, like on this army base, and a missile silo. And so we were like rigging lights around the top of like a Cold War nuclear missile. We had like
Holy shit.
we had like rigging that went around the nose of it, and so we like climb up onto the harnessed up, climb out, and then you just like over this like 10-story missile, putting lights in, and then we like got to like go down and like underneath the missile into like the blast chamber and like set lights there and stuff.
The Gap's coming to bring you a battery. You're like, no. And then we came to LA. But to
cut a long story slightly shorter, that show, we then went on strike and flipped the show so it became a union show, and all the the days got backdated, and so there was a lot of non-union guys on that show, and a lot of us got our union days on that, and it like
Oh, nice.
it like set us on like our career paths really, because like, you know, once you get into the union, suddenly it's like all these doors open to be able to work on like the TV shows that everyone loves, the movies that everyone like loves and stuff like that. And so that I mean, I was so lucky it happened in the space of like 8 months of me moving to America, which is like unheard of.
I've been here for fucking 34 years. I still have a career.
Oh, the damn immigrants.
Taking my job.
Damn you, Tom. You took our job.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, like, from that point on, just like I've had the opportunity to work on some incredible sets, and with some like film sets are such a beautiful place. You spend so much time with these people, and so much like being in a band, when you're playing music with everyone, and we were talking earlier about like the similarities between being in film and playing music, the brotherhood, like the family aspect of music, the community, that is something that is mirrored entirely on a film set. And like you spend so many hours with these people, like you oftentimes spend more time out of your day with this family than you do your own.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just meet some incredible people, and it's just from the top down, like there's the range of talent, and you know, there's people doing exactly what they want to do on set, and then there's people that aren't doing quite what they want to do on set, but
They're still there.
They're still there. And just the level of talent that you get throughout, and surprises. Like, I've met so many musicians on set that you start talking to them and then they show you their music, and it's like, whoa, so sick. Like, you have time to do this as well. Like, that's so cool, you know? And then like writers that are doing electric, and grips that are like actors, and everyone's like, I feel like everyone's so multifaceted in that. I mean, same with music. Like, you have to be. I feel like if you're coming up in those sort of creative endeavors, one of the things you learn is that no matter what, at the start of it, there's an element of DIY to it.
Yeah.
You have to be resourceful. You have to be able to do something with nothing. And it's the same in film. Even when you're working on like $150 million features, you're still like having to think outside the box to get stuff done. Like, just because there's the money doesn't mean that there's the solution.
Yeah.
You still have to be able to like think about how to do something, and sometimes it's a lot more janky than you might think. You know, but it works.
Yeah.
Like using a potato as an asteroid.
Yeah. And exactly.
And that's why AI will never take over.
Because they don't have potatoes.
they can't grow a goddamn potato. But that's what you need. You need the boots on the ground, like the guy that's gotta fix his amp on stage before the next song. You know, you gotta think quick on your feet.
100%.
And like be able to figure shit out and pull from all your experiences to be like, I know what'll work. Grab that potato.
Yeah. Go to Crafty, get a potato. We need it now.
Somebody's about to take a bite of the potato. Give me that.
No, but it is, and then like it's also really interesting. Unlike a band, like generally, like if you're playing in a band, you stick with those people for years, and you keep playing music and putting records out and doing that thing. But with a film set, it's like depending on how long the job is, it can be a month, it can be a week, it can be 9 months, depending on how long it is. You might end up you might do 9 months with one group of people, and you become like best friends. You know, like everyone's so tight. Everyone knows everything that's going on, and like what your dog's name is, and like all that sort of stuff. And then that ends, and then you go work with an entirely different family for 4 months, and so you just end up having this enormous family of people that you make films with, and like you stick in it long enough, and you see the repeat offenders, you know, like and you totally like. I feel like once you've been in the industry for a long time, it's hard to walk onto a set and not know anyone, and that's such a special thing, you know. And like, and then not to mention the projects that you are working on then, and it's like, I mean, get to work on some of the, I mean, I haven't done much, but like you get to go and day play on different shows and like do a day on Star Wars, and it's like, oh fuck, like, that's like a childhood dream. But in like,
yeah, you told me you were in Montana.
Yeah. Yes, I was. Yeah, we were working on Yellowstone, and that was an experience. Crazy. Or like, again, such an awesome group. But man, Montana is brutal. That is like anyone that lives there, props to you. Because that is, they're built different. That is a tough climate to live in and be outside in, especially when it gets to winter. It's like, whoa, I've never felt cold like that. There was one day where where the cold snap happened. I thought I was only going to be there for 2 weeks, but you know, English accent, stayed there for 4 months. But I ended up staying there way longer than I thought. I went there in like late July, and I ended up coming back like mid-December, and so I was there for the cold snap, and I didn't have proper cold weather gear at that point, and so we were working outside, and in the morning it was 60 degrees, beautiful. By 6 p.m. it was 20 degrees, snowing, and it happened like that. I've never experienced a cold snap like that, and it got to the point where halfway through the afternoon I went into the truck, and we had a little heater. I took my shoes off, and the tips of my toes were like starting to go blue. I was like, oh my God. So I'm going to be late tomorrow. I got to go get some proper shoes. But no, it like beautiful. That's such a beautiful part of the country.
When he says he's going to be late, he's going to be only 15 minutes early.
Yeah, exactly. I'll miss breakfast. But no, like that was a wild experience. Super wild experience. But yeah. Wouldn't change it for anything. And
so you said it's been about 10 years now?
Yeah.
And you've just decided to start branching off on your own, kind of, sort of?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, like, directing is something that's always... So, going back to playing music for me has always been this very visual thing. When I'm writing a song, in my head... it's I mean, obviously listening to what's happening, but in my head I'm like seeing a scene, like, and so when I was writing music, that was kind of how, like, I'm sure it was so annoying for like people that I played music with. You could attest, I don't know. But
dude,
like,
I'm like, what airplanes are you talking about flying overhead? There are no airplanes.
Imagine a battle scene, right? It's a battle scene and we're on horses. That's what it should feel like.
Do you have an inner voice? Like an inner monologue. I was gonna say we're like the same person, because I don't have an inner voice. Visual. Like everything for me is visual, and you know, like I told you, like a little skit idea for the shirt. And stuff.
Yeah.
Like the way it comes into my head, it's already like a fully produced,
totally,
skit, whatever. So that I'm like, when you're saying, I'm like, I'm not alone, but I get what you're saying, because whenever I like listen to music, I'm visualizing a music video in my head.
Yeah.
And I can't really say like I did that while I was writing music, but I can kind of feel like all right, this part's gonna be epic. Like this is the big shot.
100%. Yeah.
But he has an inner voice.
Yeah.
But that inner voice is just going, this bit's epic.
And then the planes fly overhead.
Yeah, exactly. I can just hear a typewriter. That's all it is. It's just like. But no, it's always been really visual for me, and so the idea of directing. Sorry, it was just like, the idea of directing has always seemed like fun because it feels like an extension of making music. It's like. It just feels like not more, but it's like this like complete idea of creation. It's like the visual side of things, the dialogue, and the music coming together to like hopefully make people feel something. And so it's always interested me. But last year, right place, right time, same thing.
Yeah, that seems to happen a lot to you.
It's the accent. He said it.
Yeah.
I'd be landing on my feet somehow. It seems, but no, it was right place, right time. I just happened to be on a set that they needed I jumped in to help out, and the DP, Austin Parks, who is
Shout out to Austin.
Austin
Shout out
Parks
to
Stewart.
Austin.
Who is like now like when same with music, you know, when you just meet like kindred souls that you just like, okay, you get it, we vibe, we like share the same vision. That was Austin. I met him, I started helping out just lighting, and quickly he and I just saw the same thing and knew that we were gonna like just make this thing happen.
And you weren't even working on that set, right?
No, I wasn't.
It was just a mess.
Yeah, I was just visiting, and so I just like decided I couldn't just stand back and watch it happen. I was like, I'm gonna help because this guy looks like he's trying really fucking hard to make this work, and he needs some help. He needs some extra hands to like make it happen. And so eventually, like a few days later, we somehow got asked to co-direct and finish the feature. And so we got that opportunity, and both Austin and I are people that if you give us an opportunity like that, we're going to grab it with both hands and just run. And so that's exactly what we did. We like worked really hard. We had by the end of the film, like the team was just such a family, and everyone was like pushing for the same goal, and it was such a great experience. And so following on from that, Austin and I want to keep working together, and so I had this crazy experience. I was out in the mountains at like the Angeles Forest at night.
He's like, not this one. Different mountain.
I was up in the Angeles Forest at night with my friend Luke Fisher. He's an incredible photographer.
Shout out to Luke Fisher.
Fisher. And we were just doing like astro photos, and it's pitch black. And I'm like, I'm just going to step over to the car, grab something. And I walk over to the car, and we're on the road kind of goes like this. And this is like the big canyon. And this is more like mountain canyons that sort of dig into the side of the mountain. And so I go to the car, and it's silent. But like in the distance, I could hear chanting. I was like, what the hell is that? So I like walk down the road, and I've got there's like an audio clip. I walk down the road, and there's like people clearly chanting, and what sounds like somebody giving birth up in the mountains. And so like I didn't go any deeper because I didn't want to like interrupt if it was
Yeah,
like
either someone's giving birth or someone's getting tortured.
yeah, and so maybe we should have gone into the canon. But like no, it was like such a crazy experience, and it really stuck with me for a long time, and so the idea just always kept going through my head, and so it just started like evolving into a story. Started piecing bits together about like, well, why is that happening, you know? And so I started writing a script, and then Austin and I sat down and we sort of developed the idea further, and then I wrote the script, and that was the short film that we just made. And yeah, like I'm so proud of it. Like the team that we had on this was incredible. Like all the actors we had were like, they just got it. They like read the script and came to the set with the absolute perfect idea, and it was just so seamless. And again, like, you know, I was saying, you go on set and you're bound to know someone and you create families and stuff like that. Some of my good friends that I've met throughout the years came and helped out, and so it was just this big family vibe on set, and it was like being in a practice space writing a song, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's what it felt like. But it was just 2 days of just making this insane story, you know?
Yeah.
Like this crazy story. And yeah, and so that's all I got to say about that.
I told you yesterday, and I'll say it here, that movie, that short was incredible. Like, it was very well done. The story was like I'm not going to give away like anything on it, but it's just like it had me at the edge of my seat the entire time. One, because like I mentioned it yesterday, it's like whenever I'm watching a movie, I'm trying to guess a plot, and it just automatically does that. And I did it. I totally did it.
Yeah.
And it was like I was into it the whole time. It was just fucking good. And then I got to clap afterwards. You know, like people like, oh,
clapping in the
it was
theater.
the first round of applause. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's like I got to clap for the director and the writer, and it was just like I can't wait for everybody to see it. Like I know you mentioned you sent it out to do the festival circuit and everything. Yep. So I wish you all the luck on that.
Thank you.
I have zero doubt that it's going to be fucking a phenomenal hit, because that just everything about it was so good.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I mean, I just feel lucky to have worked with such talented people. Like, it's a team. It's a family that it's no individual can do all that by themselves, you know? And like, I just, again, like I lucked out. I like just really lucked out in that there was incredible people that wanted to be a part of it, you know? And it made it all just so smooth and easy, and I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Like, I really, really appreciate that. And I know everyone else that worked on it will be like stoked to hear that as well, you know?
Yeah, because I had watched it before he came up, so the whole time I was just like waiting for his reaction. I was just like, the credits where he's like, what the fuck?
we sat in this room. We had to watch it in here because we're gonna get the AirPlay to work, and like it's just it was dark. Like, it gets super dark in here, and just on our little 24-inch TV, like just like it felt like it's fucking great. I can't wait for everybody to show it. We'll do something like, maybe, you know, like when you guys are ready to release it, we'll do something. Yeah. Have you up here again and
have a party.
Yeah. Do something.
Do you have any idea like when it's going to be released?
No, not yet. I mean, I think we've submitted to festivals, and so now it's just a waiting game, and hopefully we can have a premiere at a festival. You know, that's the dream. That's the goal. So that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah,
And then,
once it's up, we'll like post it everywhere
Yeah.
we can.
hell yeah.
So sick.
Thank you. Hell yeah.
Is fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well,
Ring,
I remember
ring.
what I wanted to
Ring,
ask.
ring.
So this was your first writing and directing.
Yeah.
And you told us a story about the first shot where you actually got that first shot too. I'm not going to spoil it, right?
Yeah.
So you filmed it as well.
Well, Austin was
Okay.
the man behind the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you made it happen from the story you told us.
Yeah.
Is there any like correlation when you? Because I assume you wrote the script by yourself. You said.
Yeah, I sat down and wrote the script by myself.
So is it different than writing a song? Because I talked right before we started recording. Like you have maybe 3, 4, 5 other guys in a room writing a song with you, and you're like, "Hey, this is my idea," and
then it evolves.
Yeah. Versus, I have this. I heard chanting. It's been with me for months. I'm gonna put it down on paper, and I hope somebody else likes it. Like,
I hope somebody gets it.
yeah, it like is.
Yeah.
Is
No, that one was on purpose.
It's just 15 pages of chanting. No, that's a great question. No, I mean, it's. I feel like it's similar, but very different at the same time. I am not like. I think because it's like just you sat there with a blank page. It just, I mean, I think everyone's different, but I like try and have like the story kind of roughed out in like bullet points. Like, this is what I want to happen. And then I just kind of go stream of conscience. And it feels the same actually, because as I'm writing, I'm just seeing it in my head. That's one thing I'm like so proud of with this film is like, the fact that we were able to make it happen so close to like how I pictured it when I was writing the script.
God, it's gonna be so satisfying,
dude. It's like actually being able to play guitar. Like I've got an idea, but I can't do it. Like
that's me. I'm like, I got this idea for a skit for the pod, and I don't know the first thing on how to shoot it.
You just beatbox the solo, Tenacious D style.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess it's very similar. It's just a different format, It's like slower, for sure. Like, I just finished my, like, a feature-length script, and that was a marathon. Like, because it's like anything, You sit down with a guitar, you're not guaranteed that you're going to come up with something you like. It's the same shit, like sit down with a blank page and you freaking write 3 pages and then you go and get a coffee and you come back and you read it and you're like, delete,
Well, that was a waste of 4 hours.
Yeah, it's exactly the same, I guess, for me at least.
There was a point where I'm like, I'm going to write a movie. And like I forgot what program it is, but like I had it on my MacBook Pro, like a script writing program where it like gives you all the prompts and stuff, where the ads. And I got like 6 pages in, and then stopped, and then reread it. I'm like, this is terrible.
Dude,
I would not watch this movie.
No, I would, because it was about Pokemon, but it was like a Pokemon origin story type of thing too. It was pretty sweet.
Brian was telling me about the idea that you guys had, right?
No, it wasn't me. It was,
okay.
The other guy at work.
Yeah.
I was just visually like chiming in. You guys could do this. You guys could do that.
What's the name of that program? You told me to
Final draft.
Final draft.
Final
Is that the
draft.
one? Yeah.
Dude, it's like, it feels idiot proof. If I can use it, anyone can use it. It's literally, it tells you how to do it. It's just.
We should crowdsource it on this pod like Tusk.
Oh my god.
Just becomes an idea thrown out in the pod. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do it.
But no, I mean, it's just fun as well, Like, I feel like at this point in my life, I've arrived at this place where I just want to I want to create stuff that I'm super, and I mean, I've always been super passionate about the projects that I've been involved in, but like, you know, when you like go through times when you're not involved in music as much and you're just working, and whatever that may be, like whatever that may look like, I've just sort of come to this point in my life where I'm like, I want to minimize those moments in life and just be doing the things that like bring me like proper joy, and like making music, making films, writing, taking photographs, like all that stuff is stuff that like fuels the soul, you know, like really makes you feel like you're living.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's fucking do that.
Yeah, it's those moments where you realize how long it's been since you've picked up the guitar, since you've hung out with your friends and jammed or made something. It feels like you're hungry almost. And you're like, fuck, when was the last time I ate? And you're like, to minimize those moments, you'd be fucking a lot healthier.
Totally.
You just fucking kind of doodling or fucking just writing a short story about Pokemon and doing like any of those little things just 100%. To give you fucking some nourishment like that.
Yeah. And sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say like that this podcast has done a lot of that for me. It's been like a huge like creative outlet for me. You know, like tickle my brain when I'm trying to learn something new. You know, we talked about DaVinci Resolve and how stupid easy it is, but like daily I'm trying to get better at it, and just this podcast has been that outlet for me. And then jamming last night, like what?
So fun.
Can you play that again? I want to try something. It's like, oh no, never mind. I'm not that good anymore.
It sounded good at first. That's
the song we were jamming. Is everybody wants to rule the world.
Yeah, the acoustic version of that.
So sick.
And then we did High and Dry.
That's what it's all about, though, isn't it? It's like just hanging out with people that you love and like making stuff.
Yeah.
Like it really doesn't matter if there's an end goal to any of what you're making. If it's just sitting there like doodling on a piece of paper, or like, you know, making a beat with your hands. Like,
speaking of that, what?
Well, I was gonna say I don't know like what part last night like of your brain it tickled, because I showed up to like, we're gonna put a studio downstairs. We're gonna punch a hole right here, put a glass.
We were gonna do it last night.
We were so close.
I was like, man,
go get the hatchet in the pod room.
That living room is perfect though for a studio. It's like all wood, so it's like that would sound so sick.
That's what I came into, and he's like, we're gonna put a studio downstairs. Put the drum set down there. It's gonna sound good.
Because she claimed that room.
Yep.
Like, you guys can just decorate it however you want, whatever. But speaking of the making a beat on your pants like that, can we talk about the score?
Oh yeah.
That fucking blew my mind. So there's all these like eerie sounds and everything, and I was trying to figure out what instrument it was. It sounded like a didgeridoo, maybe like keyboard or like a violin or something. What was it?
My voice.
So he starts singing, like in the beginning, he starts singing along to it, and I was like, I thought it was coming from the TV, and I looked over, he's like,
yeah.
So he fucking scored it himself.
Austin and I did it. Like I say, Austin and I, like, we collaborate on everything, and so like originally, like so I had some like temp pieces that I'd made for that, and like the first one was like this. It just sounded like a desert rock band, like big drums, guitars, and we threw it in, and we just arrived at the conclusion that vibe, like having the beat there is nice, but like we can make it creepier,
more raw.
Yeah, we can make it like suit the film better, you know, like what is the film asking? Same when you're like writing songs, it's like what does the song need?
Mm-hmm.
And it just need a little
Yeah,
you know?
it feels like you with the score on it, it feels like you captured what you must have felt like walking to the car and hearing the chanting and the screaming.
Oh, 100%.
In pitch black.
Yeah,
in the mountains.
Totally. And like the decision to like use voices and things like that in lieu of like strings and synths, not to say that there's none of that within it, there is, but this is a film about humans and their interactions and the power dynamics in relationships that we all experience at its core, you know? And so to be able to introduce that human element to the music, I feel like it really ties it all together. And it really just makes it all feel like it's this one cohesive piece that makes sense.
Yeah, and there's a like a drum beat, and it sounds like a tribal, like traditional kind of, like it's an ensemble. Yeah, and then you were like, it's me smacking my legs. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, it's like blew my mind.
And like going back to it as well, like I love film scores. I think like it's this second language. You've got the language of the film, and then you've got the language that the music brings to it, and you can change a scene entirely with the type of music that you put in it. We were talking about that last night.
Yeah.
And so the don't blank now.
Pod brain, baby.
Yeah, it happens. Real. It happens to the best of us. Damn it.
Ring, ring.
Oh, we're going back to the. You got ring, ring, progresso.
I really forgot.
We were talking about that, how you can take a scene and then just change the song, and it would, like, you could take like a comedy and put a different soundtrack to it, and it turns it into a horror film. And as we were saying that, you're like, oh, have you seen Midnight Mass? So we put on the first episode, and then there's that card. Yeah, somebody's dying in front of this person, and then it's like this 70s like rock song, like Eagles or something. And I was like, oh,
he made that noise.
We were just talking about that. Like, you made it creepier.
So, totally,
just
I love
having
that.
Like an upbeat song on that scene.
When like the juxtaposition between like a really dark scene and like this like polar opposite in the music. That's so powerful. It can be so powerful.
Yeah, it's like, cool. It can make it creepier, or it can just make a really dark scene seem funny.
Yeah, totally. Totally. It's rad. You guys got to go see Oppenheimer, because the score in that, it's loud, but it's so powerful.
I was watching Barbie, and you could just hear.
Really?
God damn.
Wait, from Oppenheimer?
Yeah,
no
you can hear
way.
the explosions. Yeah, we were gonna go see it.
Yeah, we got an early Friday, and I'm like, let's go see it. There was one IMAX showing, because I want to see it in IMAX. It's either at home or in IMAX. That's the only way I want to see it.
Yeah.
And they had one showing at like noon, but we left at noon, so we weren't gonna make it in time. And I'm like, oh, they have like a 12:30, and it's like in the smallest theater that they have.
There was like 8 seats. She showed it to me. I was like, is that real?
That's still a full-size screen.
Yeah.
It might have been pretty cool.
And see, like a little screen like that. We were just watching in my room on the projector.
In bed together.
We were. He was sitting on the phone. I was like, he ain't getting into bed.
It was all three of us inside O'Brien's room watching Elvis last night.
That's a wild movie.
On the projector. Yeah, the fucking fever dream.
I had to leave. I'm getting too invested into this movie. I got to go home, dude. It's late.
I did enjoy it, though. It was really pretty. It's just long.
Yeah.
Like, very long. It was like...
Yeah, we're like, well, let's just finish this movie. How much is left on it? And we checked, it was halfway through. We're like, oh, shit, let's put on jury duty.
And so then we stayed up for like 4 hours watching jury duty. It's like 6 a.m. Should probably go to sleep.
So we did. Next to each other.
I walked in and the bed's still made. Did he wake up early and make his bed?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was a lot. I woke up. I ended up waking up like at 2:00.
It was a night.
I had some food.
We raged last
jammed
night,
out again.
Yeah.
Eating cold pizza. Just brawn out.
At one point, he's like, "You want to go play some Xbox?" So Brian's like, "Hell yeah, I do."
It's like 6:45. Yeah.
Well, dude, again, we'll cut it a little short because I do got to get down.
Yeah, I can see it
Yeah.
on your face.
I'm looking at the clock. My wife's texting me. It was like, and then we got to wake up super early tomorrow. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing 2 episodes. Sorry we didn't put one out last week. Both Haitlin and I were sick. So we're giving you 2 this week. And this is the second one coming out Friday. Again, incredible short. I really did enjoy it. I can't wait for everybody to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like hearing the behind the scenes stuff on it, it's just like it makes me more excited for other people to see it. And
Yes, we gave them like the behind the scenes on this episode, and then they can watch it and be like, oh,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I can't wait for people to see it. I'm really excited. I'm really glad that you guys liked it. Like,
it's fucking
it
awesome.
means a lot. Like, I will make sure that everyone involved hears that.
yeah. Just show them this episode on
Yeah,
youtube.com/@sharethebackline. No. And then if you need like a podcasting part, if you write a podcasting part, I mean,
Hell yeah.
We need 2 schlubs. Like the sound of their own voice. We got you.
Yeah, we got you. No, but again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hope you're having a good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Yeah, have one of those.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace. Peace.